What's up everybody? I am so excited for some reason to film this video. Now, on this little channel that I have created, I love to share with you guys different side hustle opportunities or the Amazon influencer program and YouTube as a way to make money and one day be financially free. Now, something that both of or all of these things have in common is that you really need motivation to keep these things going and to do these types of things. So there's a ton of different ways that people find motivation or people, build up motivation to start something or to carry out something long term. And one of those big things could be reading a book. Now, maybe you're an avid reader or somebody that, never hardly ever picks up a book. Well, in this video, I'm gonna relate to both of you because I used to be somebody that liked to read, and then as I got older, I just didn't find time for it. So in this video, I wanna show you 5 of my favorite motivational books that nobody is talking about, that are really underrated and are easy reads for somebody who's a new reader or somebody who does not like to read. They do not have a ton of pages, but these books may also be good for someone who does read because they're a little bit different and they're a little bit shorter than what you may be used to, and they're probably some books that you may never even have heard of. Now, there's a few that are a little bit more common than the others, but some of the books I just luckily stumbled upon, and they have become one of my favorites in my collection because they just give me so much motivation. Now, another great thing about these books is that even after you finish it, you can pick it up later when you're lacking motivation, or you can mark pages down that motivate you a lot so that you can just reread them in the future. So I'm gonna go through them one by one and share them with you because this could be a great way to revive that motivation within you and use this as motivation to build your side hustles. And that's what we're all about. So I really hope that this video can motivate you to read or to just give you some motivation, because I know we are all lacking it from time to time, me included. And so if this video can help motivate anybody, then that's all that matters to me. So let's get right into it, and let me share with you some of my favorite motivational books. Number 1 on my list is Get Out of Your Way by Russ. Now, if you guys are into rap music, this is Russ the rapper. This is by him, and he uses a lot of his own lyrics and a lot of his own quotes within this book. And this book is so impactful, so motivational, and so inspiring. Now, this book is broken into 3 parts, and they are chapters, but it's a super easy read. I don't know if you can see this totally, but there's not a whole lot on each page. It's very simple to read, no huge words. It's not hard to follow at all. And if you like Russ, I would definitely check this book out because you can really hear him in the book. You really can relate it and connect it to some of his songs. For example, there's a chapter called Emergency. He has a song on that. And there's just so many good quotes in this book. So many pages that I, wanted to just bookmark and save to look back on. But since this book is so short, I can just always reread it or reread certain chapters or certain parts when I need the motivation. So this book is not specifically geared towards business, not specifically geared towards music. All around, it just for some reason sparks that motivation within you. It's just an inspiring story, an inspiring read. It has a little bit to do with his start, his a little bit about him, like a biography in a way, but overall, it's just the motivation within his story and how he explains things that just make you motivated to do anything. If you read this as an athlete, you'll be motivated. If you read this as a business owner, you will be motivated. If you read this as a student or just as a parent, a single parent, or whatever the case is, you will find some motivation within this book. Now, this book is such a good book. I highly recommend it. And that's why I wanted to talk about this book as number 1 on my list as the most motivational book, and a motivational book that maybe people are not talking about. And I really hope it could help you out. Now, the second book on my list is a pretty common book, but I feel like it's very important, especially when building side hustles and, being a young entrepreneur. So this book is going to be by the famous Gary Vee. This, like I said, is a more common one. This is Crush It by Gary Vaynerchuk. Cash in on your passion, why the time is now. So this book is going to be really geared towards people who are interested in starting a personal brand and just growing their own personal channels. This book is going to encourage you to market yourself and market all of your businesses and how social media plays a huge role in that. Now, branding yourself is something that's super important, especially as we talk about side hustles, because as you grow side hustles, you're going to learn that your personal brand is in and of itself a side hustle, because you can market yourself, you can grow an audience around you and who you are. And so this book is very motivational in growing your personal brand. So if you're somebody interested in starting a personal brand, I highly recommend this book. This book is just like the Rust book in a sense of it's very short, it's easy to read, it's only 142 pages. I believe it's like a 6-hour read if you just didn't stop at all. It takes you about a week to finish it. It is great. As we all know who Gary Vee is, he's very well established and known within the entrepreneur community. And so this is his book about building, your personal brand, and kind of gives you a little inside look on how he was able to grow himself and how long it took him. And it's also very motivational because of all of that. It talks about how long it took him, how you have to be consistent, how you have to stay motivated, and all the things that you can do to just build up that personal brand and get that head start that you need. So if you're interested in any of that or just need some motivation, I would check out this book, but it's definitely more geared towards someone who wants to start that personal brand or that social media following. Then I would check out Crush It. Now, the next two books on my list are kind of geared more towards artists, but I want to go into each one separately and explain to you why we are artists. We're creators, and starting a business is art. And so that's why these two books are on my list, and these two are probably books that you may never have heard of. But let's talk about this one first. Nobody Knows What They're Doing by Lee Crutchley. The 10 Secrets All Artists Should Know. This book, I am so happy that I found because it really resonated with me. Now, there's 10 chapters into this book, and it's very humbling. Let me read some of those chapters to you and, kind of explain why it's so humbling. So, chapter 1 is You Suck. Chapter 2 is You Will Fail. Chapter 3 is Nobody Cares About You. Chapter 4 is Everyone is Better Than You. Chapter 5, You Can't Just Do What You Love. Chapter 6, You Are Never Gonna Make It. Chapter 7, You Will Never Change. Chapter 8, It Is Not Magic. Chapter 9, Nobody Knows What They're Doing. And chapter 10 is The Big Secret. So the reason this is so humbling is because he's straight up and honest with you. He's saying you suck. He's saying you will fail, because you need to understand those things when you're starting a side hustle, when you're, building a business, when you're starting a personal brand, in everything you do, even as an artist. So, your artwork will suck. Your artwork will fail. And so you can use this book to relate to all aspects of your life, your health, your wealth, your business, your art, anything that you create, whether it's social media, whatever the case is, you can use this book. And it's so cool. It's the honest guide to creating your life, and it's so good. It's so good, so motivational. I love this book. It's also a super easy read. There's not a whole lot of color, but there are like these quotes within the book that, kind of split up the book and make it a little less like, just a ton of words, like a story. This one is a lot more fun. So this is a fun, very cool, easy read book. Takes you probably just a few days to read. There's only 10 chapters and it's broken up perfectly. I love the flow of this book. You will probably highlight and mark up so much parts of this book. I definitely highly recommend this book. Do not be scared if you don't think you're an artist. Just if you need some motivation and are willing to look past the art part and realize that, starting a business is art and starting a side hustle is art, then you will really connect, resonate, and love this book. So that's this one that I highly recommend as well, and that's why it falls to number 3 on my list. Now, the 4th book on my list is The War of Art. Like I said, it also has to do with art, but we are all creators. Now, creative work is a gift to the world and every being in it. Don't cheat us of your contributions. Give us what you've got. So this book is for, if you dreamed about writing, if you are an artist that does paintings, poems, or screenplays, if you want to start a business or a charity, or you wish you could start dieting or exercising, you hope to run a marathon, all of these things. If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you need The War of Art. That's what it says. So even though it looks like it's for an artist, looks like it's for a creative, if you said yes to any of those things that I just mentioned, you can read this book, you can resonate and relate to this book. Now, this book is very similar to this book. Now, this one's just a little bit more traditional. There's going to be a lot more words, a lot less color. It's still an easy read, and it is broken up into different sections, but what I noticed is every few pages, there's a different theme or a different topic. So this book doesn't flow as much in the form of chapters. This book just has a ton of little lessons, and every couple pages, you can read about something else. So it's not a chapter book. It's not a story that, you have to read from the front to the back. You kind of can just look through it, pick out different subcategories that you want to read and read those. Or if you want to come back to this book later and just pick out certain pages, I folded so many corners down in this book and highlighted so many sections of this book because there's so many really great quotes that you may never have heard before, but they're so impactful and so motivational. So I really do recommend this book, The War of Art, if you found this book interesting and you really want to explore the creative side and find more motivation within that. So The War of Art is another really great book. It says break through the blocks and win your inner creative battles. So I love this book. Another great read. Now, the 5th and final book on my list is one that I stumbled upon on Amazon. Now, this book, Whatever It Takes by Brandon Bornonson, I think. This book is my business Bible. Now, I say that because there's so many lessons within this book, so many key takeaways, so many things you can earn and get from this book. Now, I like to call it my business Bible because it's similar to The War of Art in a sense that there's no real chapters. It just, I guess there is chapters, but the top of the book kind of tells you different categories, and then you can read. And I highlighted so many things in this book. I truly feel this book takes all of the traditional business books, Good to Great, Deep Work, Atomic Habits, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, all of those things that you learn in all of those different books are compiled within this book. So if you only could get one business book, I would recommend this book because it covers the basis or the basics of everything within the other business books, except it doesn't go into full depth like the other books. So what you could do is you could take this book, see what concepts you like, and then go buy the other book or, the book that goes more in depth on that topic to learn more about it. But this book, like I said, covers the basics of everything within business. It gives you a good foundation. It gives you the motivation. I highlighted the crap out of this book because so many stuff stood out to me. So much was important to me. This book says, master the habits to transform your business, relationships, and life. So there's a common theme within all the books that I chose, and that's that they can relate to a lot of us. They can relate to us within whatever we're doing in different aspects. It doesn't just relate to a specific side hustle or marketing. It relates to everything. It can be transformed and used across your life, when you were working out, when your relationship, your business, everything. So that's why I really like this book and all the other books on my list. But this book is a really good foundation book. It gives you the basics of everything, and it's an easy read. This one's a little bit longer and bigger, about 260 pages, but it's an easy read. It's big text. It's a really great book. So all of these books are really great. I'm gonna leave the links down below so that you can find them on Amazon and you can easily purchase them, because these books can really spark that motivation within you and take you to the next level. You'll really be surprised at what motivates you. You kind of just have to find it, and at different times, different things may motivate you. Sometimes it may be music, sometimes it may be working out or traveling, and other times it may just simply be reading. So these are my 5 most motivational books that I love to pick up whenever I'm lacking motivation. So I just kind of wanted to share it with you because this could benefit you, and I'm here to help. So guys, I really hope you liked that little brief rundown on my top 5 books, and I hope you add them to your library. And if you do, let me know down in the comment section. Please make sure you like this video, that you subscribe to my channel, turn on post notifications, and just talk to me down in the comments. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.